There is breaking news on NEA Report at this hour. Stan Morris reporting behind the camera. In front of the camera is Police Chief Chad Henson from the Trumann Police Department. We're in Poinsett County right now where over the last several hours a tragedy began to unfold in Trumann at the local Walmart. Chief Henson taking a couple of minutes here over the late hours to join us and explain to us exactly what's going on. I know we've got a lot of folks that are getting ready to be joining us in chat. As they're getting in, Chief, thanks for taking a second. I know it's a difficult night for you. Can you just take us through how the tragedy began tonight and what happened?
It began for us when our department was notified that there may be a male inside the Walmart store with a weapon. We learned later on that there was a domestic situation that was possibly unfolding, and it was going to happen there at Walmart somewhere. When our officers arrived, they were confronted with a male and a female exiting the Walmart store, and our officers noticed that the male had a weapon in his hand. They tried and tried and tried to get him to drop the weapon, and they noticed another male coming into the scene from another direction. They tried to get him to stop and to return back to his vehicle. What they didn't know at the time was that male was possibly connected to the female that was being taken hostage, if you will. A short scuffle ensued, and the man that tried to intervene was shot and killed.
Oh, no.
He's a resident of Trumann, and it happened in front of some young kids, and it happened in front of a bunch of citizens, and it happened in front of our two officers. So just at the very onset, our department's hurting, the community's hurting. It's just a terrible situation that is unusual for Trumann, and we wish this didn't happen. But after the man was killed, our officers and officers with the Poinsett County Sheriff's Office, Game and Fish, Cricket County Sheriff's Office, Jonesboro Police Department, all tried to negotiate with the shooter for almost an hour and a half. He was able to be negotiated with, and he surrendered peacefully shortly afterwards, and we were able to take him into custody. What we're dealing with now is the crime scene, and we're dealing with several people that was inside Walmart, workers and people there to get their goods. What we're asking, what we need now, is if anybody witnessed this or saw this or recorded this on their phone, if they would contact the Trumann Police Department, so we're able to talk to you, and we're able to maybe get a copy of that video that's on your phone.
Now, a lot of people are joining us in chat, so just for those of you joining us, I saw one person that asked what happened. I'm going to tell you real fast. At 9:16 p.m. tonight, the Trumann Police Department was contacted. It was in regards to a report of a man at Walmart with a gun. 9:23 tonight, I should say last night at this point, Sunday night, officers made contact with the suspect and with the situation at the Trumann Walmart location. It's out on the highway, on the interstate it would be. A lot of people drive by it, probably a lot more drive by it than would stop in and go and shop there. But the parking lot tonight full of police cruisers has what was taking place was unfortunately fatal. You mentioned two officers had seen a member of the community killed tonight. When you're dealing with that level of a personal tragedy, how does it? I mean, does it affect you in the sense of what are you going to say to the officers? And
well, I just did 30 minutes before you arrived here. I was having to tell one of the officers that I had been in your shoes, because the question is now, well, why didn't you shoot the suspect? Yeah, we have to worry about. This guy was standing in the doorway of Walmart. This officer had to make the decision: could he shoot this person, and where would, if he missed, what would be the backdrop?
Right.
There's people coming in and out of those doors, so he had to make a decision. And
sure.
so just for our officers, they're going to have to see what they saw, be able to deal with it, and come to reckoning with that on their own.
Sure.
It is my position to try and help them and to counsel them, and I think that those guys both acted valiantly and very courageously. Again, they're hurting,
Of course.
because of what they had to see.
But you guys have to respond to situations like this, and while you're having to perform a duty, at the same time, human beings are behind the badge, and
Sure.
so, I mean, I can't imagine the range of emotions they have to be confronting. Obviously, you always say, "What could I have done to make this better?" But at the same time, there's only so much you can do in a situation like
Well, I
this.
think I think that they were able to. Is my opinion for them. I think they were able to save that lady tonight. If
Yeah.
they weren't there at that door, if their response was just even a minute slower, maybe he would have put her in a car.
Wow.
So they got a call and they were there. So that's what I told them is that
Yeah.
I think you did well. For the young man that lost his life tonight, our heart bleeds for them just like it would be one of our own.
Yeah.
But it happened in front of their kids, so
I had a witness report of something similar. I was going to wait for you to
Yeah.
get to that, but it sounded like the worst possible case of where a witness would view that.
yeah.
You're going to obviously have notification processes going
Yeah.
on. Will that be something that takes place today, the next of kin notifications?
Yeah, the area that we've already notified them,
Okay.
but I'm still not going to release any names
Okay.
tonight.
I understand.
We have counselors at the school being set up for the kids, for them now and tomorrow, and for the days to come. If we've missed anything, we're going to re-second guess what we've done tonight. Make sure that everybody that needs something
Yeah.
has got it. We've had chaplains come here to help with our officers and with the family. I know the Jonesboro Police Department chaplain reserves spoke with the family tonight, and they spoke with our officers, and they were tremendous help. And they'll stay in touch for the next coming days.
Is this going to have, for any particular reason you can or can't talk about, have an impact on the community and the school? You said. You said there would be counselors at the school.
Yeah. As far as for the children, if they attend school,
Yeah.
there'll be counselors there.
Was the victim a teacher? Was he? No. Okay.
The children are going to school. The reason I
gotcha.
mentioned them is we're trying to make sure that these kids that witness this are going to be covered.
Yeah. And this took place at 9. What are the hours of that Walmart location?
It's 24/7.
It's a 24/7. Okay. For those wondering, because many will watch after the facts, it's 9:16 p.m. that this was reported to have begun unfolding on a Sunday night. As the Trumann Police Chief mentioned, small community. What's the population of Trumann?
8,000.
So this is, you don't deal with situations like this even in larger communities, but a smaller community, when everybody knows each other, how hard is to make the aftermath of something? Is it even more challenging?
Yeah, it's always challenging when you have a place that's as populous as this, and as people just don't expect it to be a victim. And again, what happened tonight, the victim knew the suspect.
Yeah.
This wasn't just an isolated event where someone just entered into a Walmart and started shooting. He knew what his victim was going to be, and the victim knew who the suspect would be. It's just very, very unfortunate it had to play out so publicly and in our most populous place in town.
Last few questions here. We're just about to wrap up. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us. By the way, live here on NEA Report. The suspect, will there be a release of his information expected later today?
Yeah, later today.
Okay. Was there camera footage that your officers, okay,
Yeah.
body camera? Will you also be pulling security camera footage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that going to remain in y'all's hands until the investigation is complete?
Yeah, when it's completed, I'll release it.
Okay.
But I don't know. Again, this looks like, as right now, we know pretty much what happened.
Yes.
But until I have all the facts, it could be another video, there could be another witness. This case will remain open, and as such, I won't release any video or any of the statements. When that is done, I'll release everything I can.
On behalf of everybody and on our side, I mean, our deepest thoughts are with you, with TPD, with all the law enforcement members and all the community members here. This is not something this is a nightmare, to have to come to for you and for your men and women here, especially to have to deal with that and see that. Thank you for what you do. Thanks for taking a couple of seconds to talk to us. Is there anything else you think we might want to hit on just before we wrap up our live stream?
No, I appreciate the publicity. Again, we believe this is an isolated event. We just want the community to know that we hope that business returns to normal. But if you have family, hug them. If you have family, tell them you love them. And you see a police officer, definitely give him a hug. Tell him you love him too.
Him or her need it for sure now more than ever. And will the Walmart be closed today or
no? I spoke with the manager. We spoke with all the workers. They feel comfortable. They want to go back to work. They'll have their own little debrief. But they feel comfortable that this was an isolated event, and they're going to go back to business as normal here. And they should already be open by now.
You've been listening to Police Chief Chad Henson, Trumann Police Department, as we've been reporting on an incident in Trumann tonight where a fatal standoff took place at the Walmart location. Trumann's situation, it unfolded, began about 9:16. It was a tragedy as one person was killed on the scene. Fortunately, officers were able to talk the man down and he came out. Situation has been resolved. We'll have more updates for you on NEA Report as we continue to cover this. I'm Stan Morris reporting live in Trumann, Arkansas.